Let me show you how to build this interactive gradient section to engage site visitors with your content. Let's break it down. First, in our section, come up to these 3 dots and turn on advanced sizing, just for this section, and set it to a minimum height of 100 viewport height. Then let's go ahead and drop in a container and stretch it to be full sized. In layout, let's turn on advanced CSS grid and go ahead and add 2 more columns. The first and third we'll leave as 1FR, but for the second, let's set it up to 48FR. That's most of the grid work done, so now let's add in some content. I'll add in a container to our leftmost cell, stretch it, and then turn it a dark gray color. Then let's add in some text. Change the color, font, and size, and importantly, set the orientation to vertical, like so. Then I can go ahead and duplicate the text and drag it down to the bottom. Duplicate a few more times, swap out the content, and then we'll stack these bottom links together just like so. Then for our very far right cell, let's add in a container and stretch it to full size. But this time we'll just change the background to a linear gradient. Ours will look something like this, but you can customize yours however you'd like. Moving on to our center content, we're gonna build from the back forwards. So to start, let's drag in another container and stretch it. In color, we'll add a linear gradient and make ours look something like this. Then we can drag in a title and an accordion component, which I've added a little bit of content to, and also the number 5, since this is our 5th and farthest back layer. After that, let's hide this container so we can add in another container to our parent, and once again, stretch it to fill. But this time, to create that layering effect, I'll add some space to the right with 12.5 viewport width of margin. Add in a gradient just like so, and then I'll add the title, how many days till the event, and then a 4 down in the corner. And the next 3 layers are pretty much exactly the same. Go ahead and add in a container, stretch it out, and then add some right margin for the stacking effect. This time we'll do 25 VW. Add a title, some prices, and then our corner number. Same idea for the next layer too, but this margin will have 37.5 VW. Then we'll just add in our content like the artists. And finally, for our first layer, we're gonna have a right margin of 50 VW, and that will be the cover of the page. After unhiding all the layers, things are looking really eye-catching. So now let's make it interactive. So to start, we're gonna skip this first container since it'll be getting moved by the other containers, but won't be triggering any animations itself. So in the second layer, let's grab the animations tab, and on hover, we're gonna move our first layer to the left by 34 VW. We will also add in another animation, selecting this October text to appear on hover. This is what it looks like so far, so now we just need to repeat this for the lower 3 layers. First, we'll start by reapplying the animations from layer 2, then we'll add another move animation of 34 viewport width for layer 2, and finally another appear in on this pricing stack. Layer 4, we'll have all of those animations except the pricing stack appear, and we'll add in another one to move layer 3, 34 viewport width left. Finally, layer 5 will have the same animations as layer 4, but we'll move layer 4 left 34 VW as well. And with all of those animations put together, we end up with an amazing section just like this. Want to see more of these? Check out another tutorial.